So first off, shout out to our group member, Caitlin Mack, who had that idea posted inside the group. So I'm starting to see a lot of the group members that have been in here for a little bit, starting to see where we're going with a lot of the marketing strategies. And her input on that made this entire strategy tonight. So if you're just hopping on, drop me a thumbs up emoji. Let me know you're good on the audio. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive right into our neighborhood marketing strategy reveal, because once we niche down, we will level up. So tonight's strategy is the brewery passport. Okay. And this sounds really like an interesting one when I first heard it. And I thought, how can I take this concept of a brewery passport and just bring it into a marketing strategy for your area? And here's what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, it's going to be about serving your ideal client in a fun way so that you remain front and center and on their minds. Bottoms up to this, right? We all have so many different personalities. And I know this personality, that we're talking about tonight is not going to be everybody, but that's okay. If this personality fits you and if this is your ideal client as well, and we'll talk about that part in a minute, then this might be a really great strategy for you to consider implementing. So as usual, if you want to know how to get access to all the free resources inside our Facebook group, including the highly vetted neighborhood cheat sheet on how to find the most profitable farm, stay through the end. I'll give you all the resources at the end so you have them. And with that, let's dive right in. Have you heard about the concept of bar crawls, or have you ever participated in a bar crawl? If you did, drop me a comment. I'd love to see where we're at. If you are watching live right now, feel free to do a hashtag live. If you are catching the replay later, give me a hashtag replay. It'll be up in the group, so you can always catch the replay if you weren't able to make the live, or if you had to hop off because your phone is ringing. I know it's a crazy busy market right now everywhere, so the replay will be here. So the bar crawl, I actually have never participated in a per se like organized bar crawl, but yes, I've heard about the concept of it. So the bar crawls is really just where you go from bar to bar to bar, and at every bar you collect something, some sort of token, right? And then at the end of it, you win a prize. So let's see how we can leverage that one for our real estate business. Give me about 20 minutes and we'll walk you through the exact strategy that will have the entire town talking about you as their real estate agent. And that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish. So let's start off first, because if we're talking bar, we're not talking just bar, okay? So we talked about a brewery passport, and there is a difference. So let's start off right here, because if I say bar and if I say brewery, in my personal opinion, and feel free to, put your comments in there, there is a difference. Do you think there's a difference between a bar and a brewery? Let me know in the comments. Because in my opinion, a bar is just something more of like, you hang out. It's more like shots. It's after hours. It's late at night. It's really just more of the let loose Friday, Saturday night crowd, right? That's, in my opinion, a bar. Brewery, however, a brewery is something where people just gather on a Tuesday to, enjoy some craft beers and to enjoy some social time. It's kind of like going to the movies, but it's a bar. So this one, and I know a lot of you guys might say, hey, but what about Corona? And, hey, we're in the middle of a pandemic, or hey, we're currently shut down. How can I apply this one? And yes, I totally get that not every single state that you guys are in currently is having those options available. So think about it. How can you just plan for something like this in advance? Because some of those strategies need a little bit of planning. A passport is probably not created from, today to tomorrow. It might take you a week or two. It might also take you a little bit longer. So just think about it. How can this fit into my business? If it doesn't fit right now, maybe it's going to fit a little later. But back to the different clientele, the brewery. The breweries also oftentimes have memberships. So people actually can purchase memberships at breweries. And those are like, the beer of the month club, or I don't know, whatever. Like, they have different ones. I'm not a big brewery kind of person, but I'm aware of them because I know it's just a different clientele they're serving. I talk to people who are, beer of the month club members, and those are not your average 21-year-olds going to the bar trying to get really, really drunk on, $20. The people going to the brewery are the ones that can afford the membership to that beer club. It is a luxury item that they then use to socialize, to be with their friends. So are we all good in the fact that there is a difference between a bar and a brewery? Let me know in the comments if you agree, if you disagree, and we're going to get to the next part. So this one here is definitely an important one. Your ideal client needs to be financially able. Okay, if you're connecting with all sorts of amazing people, let's say you're connecting with a lot of 20-year-olds, which is great for, a lot of different reasons. But for this one particular, if you are looking for now business and they're telling you, well, I'm not going to buy a house for the next 7 years, probably not that great. Good networking skills, but maybe not your necessarily ideal client right this second. Work with them, put them in your database. But again, ideal client might be a little bit different on a stage of their life. Just keep that in mind. So here's the definition. I did pull it up on Google and I said difference between a bar and a brewery, and here's what they spit out. It was, although the terms are increasingly used to refer to the same thing, there's a difference between pubs, bars, inns, taverns, and lounges where alcohol is served commercially. A brewery is a bar or restaurant that brews beer on the premises. So that's what they define, and it's just, a little bit of a difference right there. Does that make sense so far? We're good. Give me a thumbs up, a check mark, a fire if you are with me on this one. And if you're just not quite sure yet, I'll take the thumbs down too. Let me know. I want to make sure everybody that is currently on here is good on it, because then we're going to get to step 2. Imagine this. What you need to create a passport. And I promised you guys, I'm going to show you guys some design work of how you can simply put together a brewery passport. Oh my goodness, brewery passport. So if you are thinking about how can I create this, just really think about it from like a craft perspective. How can you make a small little passport looking like booklet that you can then distribute and that then can be used to collect, the stamps at the individual breweries that you are talking to, and then what at the end is going to be the price of it, right? And this can be really anything. You can partner. I think Caitlin said she will be partnering with somebody, I believe a lender. You can partner with somebody on it to see if this is something that you can collaborate on. Say, hey, you fill your passport, right? Depending on how many there are, there's a $25 gift card to a bar, a restaurant, a brewery. There is, $50 gift card, whatever you have in mind to give away. So you will need some sort of, way to create this passport. One of the things, and it's super easy to do, is really just to staple together some pages. And then for the outside page, just use a little bit nicer, premium cardstock and print the design on it. And I'll show it to you in a minute. But then you need paper. You need your logo. If you have a team member or a team logo, you can put that one on there too. And then you have, I personally have been really enjoying putting a face with it. Just because, not because I love to see my face everywhere, but it is building brand recognition. And I'm not talking about your headshot. If that is what you have, that's great. But if you're going to do a brewery passport, take one button down and be like, all right, cool, let's have some fun, right? But that's if you have your headshot, that'll work too. So ready to see what is possible if we'll take all of those things I just showed you, because we're going to take you through the design that could be what your passport is looking like. Look at this. This one here is something that could be in your ideal customer's back pocket. Okay? Brewery passport, discover the area's greatest breweries with your local realtor. And this one will be then handed over, and they can then just stamp it. They can make sure that they collect all those stamps. And it's a nice and fun way for you to be right there in front of your ideal clients. But hold on a minute, we're not just gonna go in front of one person, because as you know, a lot of our strategies are all about leveraging. And this is the really, 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 really important part, because if I just give it to one person and say, here you go, and that one person does something, I wouldn't be having enough of an impact with it. So, but this one would be like an idea of like a design you can do. Like I said, small enough to fit in the back pocket, fun enough to like fit in a little wallet, and then they can use that one to continue, getting their stamps and everything. So put your innovative business card in your ideal client's back pockets with strategies that work while you are relaxing at home. So if you are not the one wanting to be out at a bar at 10 o'clock at night, but you have a lot of, the 40-year-old crowd that you feel like you wanna be where, like, serving, then maybe an innovative business card such as this brewery passport might be perfect for you. Okay. Was this useful? Did you guys see where you can leverage some of this and be like, oh my gosh, this makes sense to me? Because then we're gonna get into our third part, which is how we can make sure we're not just talking one person, with this entire strategy. We want to make sure we're talking one to many. So this is the thing. Our strategies can never be one-to-one. Our marketing strategies, if they are one-to-one, you will have so much effort in it, so much time that you will be spending and literally wasting if you are just focusing on a one-to-one. So what are one-to-one strategies? I'm not saying don't use them at all, but for certain purposes, lead generation being one of them, one-on-one strategies are really, really hard to get traction with. So your lead generation strategy should always be one-to-many. So we want to make sure that we are always 3xing the reach. All right. So here's 3 ways to leverage your passport. 3 different scenarios, and we'll walk you through all of them. So the first one, people at the bar. People fall oftentimes naturally into conversations. If you've ever been in a bar and you kind of just watch the bar for a little bit, what you will notice is that people are, sitting on the bar oftentimes by themselves, maybe with a person, but they will fall naturally into conversation with whoever is around them. That's part of going to the bar, socialization. Okay, so if they just talk about anything, what do you think they're going to talk about when somebody hands this piece of paper over to the bartender and says, here's my brewery passport? The natural progression of this conversation will be, hey, what you got there? Oh, this? Here, check it out. And this is exactly what we want. Now, I would highly encourage you to make sure you have a way for them to get in touch and claim their own, because obviously if they're going to that bar anyways, might as well start handing more passports out, right? Get your name in front of more people and have them do the work of spreading the word about your business for you. Does that make sense? Tell me you guys are excited as I am about this entire thing. I mean, when I heard the strategy just a few days ago, I thought this was really, really, really smart. This was a really smart way to approach something. And now we're just going to take it to the next level with it. So This is the first one of the ways. Now the second one, the friends of the people that are going to the bar. It only takes one person in the group having the passport to reach their entire friend circle. One person. And now you're reaching the entire friend circle. This is exactly what we want to make sure our strategies are doing. Breweries, they're often visited as a social engagement, and once one person in this group has it, goes up to the bar and says, here you go, this becomes a conversation piece that they will then just talk about. Hey, what you got? Oh, I got this passport. Here's her number. You should go and send her a text or an email so you can get one and we can do the brewery passport together. And this way you have more people, more reach. Does that make sense? So third one is obviously the bartenders. You don't have to just rely on the patrons going there. Think about the bartenders. Think about how many people are they interacting with over the course of a weekend. I mean, we can talk about hundreds of people that they have a conversation with. Hundreds of people that they can then tell about what you're doing as the local realtor. This is something that can be seriously like leveraged down to the T. And think about it, you can do all of this while you're at home in your slippers and, you know, get your face mask on, watching your favorite like Netflix show. This is like seriously something that can work for you. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that my part here is oftentimes interrupted by my craziness of my own real estate business and my kids. So I always look for strategies that I can use when I am not necessarily working. Strategies that can work for me while I'm sleeping, or you know, I'm working, or I'm with my kids. I always want to make sure that those strategies are just doing exactly what I need them to. They don't need me to be the one dialing. They don't need me to be the one door knocking. And this is really, really important to, you know, some of our lifestyles these days for many of us in this group. So if you agree on that one, drop me a comment, let me know. And this is really what it comes down to. And the third part, leverage the people around you. Build a network, helps you spread the word about your business a lot quicker. And that is what we want you guys to consider. How can you leverage the people around you? How can you build that network? How can you do it in a way that is complementing your personality and what you do? Did this make sense so far? Let me know in the comments if this makes sense. Give me a thumbs up, a heart. There's those little buttons on the side. And then real quick, if you are just jumping on, who am I? My name is Janine Sasso. I'm an active realtor and team leader. I run a 6-figure real estate business. I'm a hyper-local marketing machine, and I'm the founder of the Hyper-Local Real Estate Agent. Welcome to the group. I built my business with zero sphere, and I'm a busy mom of 2 little kids, so I know that time constraints are seriously no joke. So real quick, what's next? If this is something that, you know, sparked your creativity, all that I just gave you tonight is everything you need to really go out and start putting the pieces together on your own. And for some of you guys, it might work great. So you're all good on it. Go and implement and go make this work. And again, thanks to Caitlin for this amazing, you know, opportunity to just brainstorm that idea or bring that idea up. And we were able to take it down to a more neighborhood strategy for you to use. If you, for whatever reason, need help, you can always book a 1-hour consultation call in which we'll make sure we'll walk you through. It's www.bit.ly/hyperlocal agent strategy call. So you can always consult. It's like the coach in your back pocket. And as promised, I have compiled all of our free resources that you can simply claim in the group. One of them is our social media calendar to increase your engagement. There's a light version for 35 days, which is 100% free. The 25 mailing examples, also completely free. Our Geographic farming cheat sheet, 100% free. And the best part, this one has been like the cornerstone of my business. And there has been a lot of positive feedback on that farming cheat sheet. So if you haven't already, or if you're not sure about your farm, you don't have one, start there. It'll be the best, you know, little booklet you'll read for this week. promise. And then also, if you're looking for some video marketing ideas in terms of real estate, there is our 175 content ideas. If you are interested in any of them, again, they're free. They're inside I believe they're inside our unit. If not, feel free to drop a comment and I'll get you the links sent to them. And that's about it. So this concludes tonight's training. Thank you guys so much for hopping in. If you had some, aha moments, if you were like, oh my gosh, this made sense, please let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks so much for hopping on, and I will see you guys inside the group throughout the week, and I'll catch you again on Monday's training. Bye, guys.